47690A, B, and C. Morning to you.
Good morning, Your Honor. William Mays on behalf of Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, your name?
Michael Wright.
Okay, so we have a no trailer plate, serious safety defect, no medical waiver card. File C is the misdemeanor. Does he stand mute, waive formal rating?
Yes,
Not guilty, pleas entered. And then, as I understand it, he's going to plead responsible to defective commercial vehicle. That's file, the serious safety defect, is it? File
Yeah.
count one. And he's going to plead to failure to properly display, failure to attach plate. And then they're going to dismiss the no medical waiver card, correct?
that's correct.
Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes.
And this was a commercial vehicle, correct?
Yes,
Okay, to that charge, failure to attach plates, sir, responsible or not responsible?
responsible.
And to the charge of serious safety defect, file A, count one, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Uh,
Now, wait, should I ask for cops?
I don't know, these are simple infractions. I might give you a cops on these.
All right.
All right, and then the B file, the no medical waiver file is dismissed. Did he go into default on these?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he was here February 26th. I'll set it aside. Why
Thank-
weren't you here February 26th?
Excuse me?
Why weren't you here on February 26th?
Should be moved from one house to another.
All right, good enough. I'm accepting your plea to the serious safety defect. Fines costs on that, $325. I'll make it $300. I'll dismiss count two, and on the failure to attach plate, $200. You can go down the hall, that's $500, pay it all, and we're done. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Give me 1 second here. I walked into a blizzard here, it looks like. You have Ross?
Yes.
Ross.
Good morning, Your Honor. William Mays on behalf of Mr. Jalen Ross. Mr. Ross.
I gotta call it though.
Oh.
Jalen Edward Ross, 260-646605 A and B. Your name, sir?
Jalen Edward Ross.
Mr. Mays?
Judge, we have gone through his rights explicitly. He signed and executed an advice of rights form. Prosecuting attorney has agreed to dismiss the original charge of OWI super drunk for an amended count of operating while visibly impaired, dismissing the PBT ticket, and also in the comments to that, which I need a copy of before I leave, they're withdrawing the implied consent refusal under Rule 257-305 sub 4, which is scheduled for next week.
Okay.
Mr. Ross understands the maximum possible penalties and is prepared to plead guilty at this time. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If you plead guilty to operating while impaired, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss the super drunk and the PBT refusal. I understand your lawyer and the prosecutor have worked this out with regard to the implied consent suspension. The impaired charge will call for, you did stand mute, waive formal reading, right?
Stand mute, wait for him reading.
If you plead the impaired now, operating while impaired, the possible penalties are up to 300 fines, 93 days jail, 360 hours community service, court costs are all 4 points. License suspension or revocation in accordance with your record. Your vehicle could be, or might have to be immobilized depending upon your record. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign, read, and understand an advice or rights form here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and there will be no trial. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Any questions before we go on? To the charge operating while visibly impaired, how do you plead?
Plead guilty.
Were you operating a motor vehicle on West Jefferson near Sibley in the city of Trent at 2:26 in the morning on February the 7th of 26?
Yes, Your Honor.
Prior to that, did you drink alcohol? And if so, what did you drink and how much did you drink?
I had about roughly 7 to 8 Bud Lights, and following that, 5 or 6 Jaeger bombs.
Why were you pulled over by the police?
It was aware to me that I had fallen asleep at a light with my foot on the brake pedal, and then they had woken me up and we pulled over to the side.
And you think you fell asleep, at least in part because of your alcohol consumption?
I believe it doesn't drive still. My foot was on.
Yeah.
No, did you fall asleep because of the alcohol?
Into that and due to being awake for 25 hours, I was recently shifted to midnights, but that is.
Okay. And when you were, okay, so you were arrested, transported to the police station and administered an intoxilizer, is that?
No, blood test, 0.19.
Blood
Stipulation
test.
purposes.
I'm sorry. Okay, and you'll stipulate that that was an accurate reading?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole, Mr. Ross?
No.
Anybody in the world forced you to plead guilty?
No.
Plea is accepted to impaired driving and dismissing the super drunk. I'm dismissing the PBT refusal. I'm going to order a screening and assessment. You'll go down the hall, you'll get your court date, which we're gonna give you, and then you'll go back over to probation, fill out a questionnaire and be interviewed. I'm gonna give you $1,000 personal bond. You don't have to post any money. Here are your bond conditions. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. I want you to attend a 12-step meeting twice a week in person. My court officer is going to get into a form. Every time you go, you have to have that form signed. Every time you come to court, you have to bring that form with you. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll give you the court date now. We'll see if this is good with you, Mr. Mays. What do you have for me, Heather?
Judge, we could do, how about April 23rd at 8:30?
Good that day?
23rd. I can't remember. Do I have Gardner here that morning? Is that here? I'm drawing a blank. I've got,
I think that's next week, isn't it? Or the week after?
April 23rd, or I'm sorry, which one is he looking for?
23rd is kind of full. I thought for some reason I may have a hearing here already. I've got a 9:15 in Romulus.
I can give you another date. It's not a big deal. What other day do I have with Trenton?
Well, we have April 7th in the afternoon. We're getting kind of full that day.
April 7th in the afternoon? That's my mother's birthday. I want to go to, I don't want to be working too hard that day. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
home.
we're kind
Take her
of
out to
full that
lunch.
afternoon, Judge. That's why I'm trying to push everything to our next Trenton day, the 23rd.
Can you do the 23rd or not? If you can't, you
I
can't.
can do the afternoon.
We'll do it 1:00.
Okay,
We'll do it April 23rd at 1 PM. Okay?
thank you.
There was no, actually, Heather, we don't really, there's not gonna be any restitution here. Do you want to just give me a Monday or something?
I can do that, Judge.
Let's just do a Monday.
Or you want to do a Monday, or we could even do, on like one of our probation days too, a Tuesday.
Fine, either one.
How about, does April 14th work for you?
How's that?
Sure.
April 14th at 8:30.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Anything else, Mr. Mays?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Have a good day. Good luck, sir. Thank you. And I'm just gonna defer, no, that's it. That's it. We're all set. Thank you.
Judge, can I grab that file from you, though? I need to
Yeah,
make a copy of that. For
Yeah.
the Secretary of State.
Heather, Mr. Mays is gonna bring the file down. You can make a copy of that. Can you make a copy of that stip form, please?
Thanks so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful day.
You too. All right, who else do I have here? We got all these lawyers waiting around. What do you have, Mr. Graziani?
I've got Luke Durant, sir.
Mr. French, what do you have?
I have a ticket matter on Wood.
Let me call that one. Charlie Marianne Wood, 26G306904.
For the record, Your Honor, good to see you, albeit by Zoom.
Yeah, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. You doing all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. I appreciate the way you're moving through this docket as well. Ron French, for the record, appearing on behalf of Mrs. Wood.
All right, so this is minor accident, no injuries. He's offering the impeding. You're authorized to enter that plea on behalf of your client, true?
I am, Your Honor,
To that charge of impeding traffic, responsible or not responsible?
responsible.
Plea is accepted to impeding, original charge dismissed, 195, due by April the 9th, okay?
That's
Have a
fine.
good day.
Thank you.
Okay, I came in for Trevette, the prosecutor review.
I wanted actually to have, I don't want to dismiss it if she didn't do her community service. I want you to take this over to probation, John, please, and tell them they need to check on that.
The record indicates that she's compliant, but when I asked her about it, she said.
I know. And they didn't address it in their notes. They didn't say community service completed or not completed. So take it over to whoever the probation officer was. I'm sorry. I didn't know I called you in there on that. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks. Jalen, Dominic, Searcy, 260-647-832, A and B and C. Your name, sir.
Dominic Sears.
All right. Good morning. You're charged with driving while suspended. and you have 2 civil infractions, expired plate and no proof of insurance, you have the right to an attorney. If you want one, I will give you one. Do you want a lawyer?
I'm not.
I'm gonna go ahead and arraign you then. I'll explain the charges. I'll send you to the prosecutor. On February the 18th and 26th, it is alleged that you did operate a motor vehicle on King near Douglas and Trenton at 3:10 p.m. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 500 fines, 93 days jail. Costs are all those are 2 points. Do you understand that? And did you sign, read, and understand the advice of rights form? If you plead guilty at any time, you'll be giving up all those rights, and we're not gonna have a trial. Do you understand that? You also have 2 other charges, expired plate and no insurance. Those are civil infractions. Do you understand that? You still wish to waive your right to a lawyer? I'll enter a not guilty plea. I'll enter a plea of denials on these civil infractions. $500 personal bond. You don't have to post any money. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. You go out in the hall and he's going to set you up with the city attorney for Trenton. And you go talk to the city attorney.
What you just watched wasn't one case. It was a snapshot of how the American justice system handles the everyday collisions between ordinary lives and the law. From a commercial truck driver hit with fines for safety violations on his rig, to a young man who drank 7 beers, chased them with shots, and fell asleep at the wheel at 2 in the morning. These aren't courtroom dramas manufactured for television. This is real life, playing out in real time, before a judge who has seen it all. Michael Wright walked in, owned his violations, and walked out $500 lighter. Simple, clean, done. But Jalen Ross? His story carried weight. A guilty plea to operating while visibly impaired. His super drunk charge and PBT refusal dismissed as part of the deal. But in return, a $1,000 personal bond, mandatory 12-step meetings twice a week, no alcohol, no drugs, and a probation check already waiting for him down the hall. The court didn't just process him. It gave him structure. Whether he uses it is entirely up to him. And the others, Charlie Wood, Jalen Sears, Harold Reed, each arrived with their own set of circumstances, their own choices, their own consequences. The courtroom doesn't discriminate. It simply responds. That's what makes these hearings so revealing. Every case is a decision point. For the defendant, for the system, and frankly, for all of us watching. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.